Okay, ditto from everything I said yesterday. We're back. We've had a great week. First of all, it's been a good week for us. Our guys have been great at practice. The hotel's been awesome. The hospitality's been great. Everybody here that's associated with the Fiesta Bowl has been tremendous and just above and beyond in making sure that we have everything we need to be able to function just as we would back at home. So it's been a great week. I think our guys have been able to have a good balance of, really having some fun and enjoying the experience, but at the same time being locked in on what we got to do to have a chance in this game. So we're excited about it. There's really not much else to say that hasn't been said. I mean, this is two great teams, and just tremendous amount of respect for Ohio State. As I said earlier, kind of mirror images of each other in so many ways, and you can tell that both teams like each other, play for each other, believe in themselves and their teammates, and I think that really resonates on film. So should be a heck of a game, and we're all looking forward to great competition.
Coach Day brings the Ohio State Buckeyes here for the 9th time. That's the most appearances by any school in Fiesta Bowl history. Coach Day.
Yeah, I just echo what Coach Swinney said. This has been a really great week for our guys. We've had a great week of practice, and everybody in the Fiesta Bowl has been wonderful, and just in terms of their hospitality. And again, being away for the holidays for some of our younger guys, the way that these guys have taken care of us this week has really made it great. And then anytime you get closer to the game, it's like, let's bring the game on. And I know our guys are getting ready. They're getting tired of practicing, even though this has been a unique preparation in that it was almost like a bye week more than it was preparation for a bowl game because of the quick turnaround. And, it's an honor to play a team like Clemson that has really set the standard here the last couple of years, defending national champs, 28-game winning streak. With talent, the combination of talent and coaching is some of the best in the country. And so, our guys know that, they recognize that, and had a great week of practice. And again, looking forward to a great game on Saturday.
Great, thank you. We'll now open up for questions. We have mic runners on either side. When we come to you, if you could please identify yourself and identify who the question is directed toward. Start with Bill right there.
You've been in 5 straight times in the playoff. Does this game, because two first-place teams dominating, both teams have been, does this almost feel like a national championship caliber game?
Well, it is a national championship game because if you don't win it, you ain't going to the national championship. So that's just the way every game is, really, to be honest with you. And we really take that approach every week. We feel like we've been in playoff football all year. It's been a best of one every single week for us, every week, all year. So this is just this one is truly, if you win this one, you get to go to the national championship. So it's what it is. And at this stage, you can put the names in a hat and throw them around. I mean, these are all great teams, and anybody can beat anybody. I mean, the margin for error is very small. So just so happens that you've got two undefeated conference champions battling it out. And that have had special years. And again, built very similar. Both teams want to run the ball. Both teams have great dynamic playmaking quarterbacks and running backs and receivers and built in the trenches, So complete teams in that they're really good on offense and defense. So there's just this is a pretty special matchup. And these type of games usually come down to a few plays.
Go front row.
Austin Ward, Letterman wrote, Ryan, I think the availability report is going to be pretty clean for you a little bit later today. Beyond just the on-field impact, if you've got the full complement available, is there a mental boost for a coach or the players knowing that you have everybody out there?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think at this time of the year, coming off of those 3 games at the end of the year, it was great to have a little bit of a break to catch our breath. But it is great to have everybody healthy, and that means a lot late in the season. It's been a unique year that way, where, we were able to get the guys some rest early in the season, but then we had that tough run down the stretch, and that's really where it became March Madness, kind of like Coach is talking about for us. Once that Penn State game hit, it was March Madness. You lose one of those games, you're going home, and here we are now. But it was great to get a rest and have those guys ready to go.
We'll go left side.
Coach Day, Trevor Groves, CUTigers.com. You had a couple of Heisman finalists, and Coach Swinney and Coach Saban have both told me in the past that they'd be all for moving the voting for the Heisman until after all the games have been played. Just wondering if that's something that you would advocate, and if so, why?
Well, I just think that the whole script hasn't been written yet, and so in games, especially like this, it's about players. It's not about plays, and these guys have an opportunity to put their best foot forward in the biggest stage there is. I think you're making a decision without a full complement of what they've done in their body of work. So I would agree with that. I think it'd be great to see what happens throughout this playoff and then make the decision from there.
We'll go Pete.
Dabo, Pete Thamel from Yahoo. Two questions about Coach Venables. One, can you give us a sense of just how much he needed to change the defense this year with the personnel you lost and kind of change the identity, installing some of the three-down stuff in the spring? And then the second part would be, can you give us a window into him as a defensive play caller and what it's like on the headset and why he's become such a master at that?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say we changed our identity. I think we're still true to who we are and have always been at our core, but I think every year as a coach, you have to evaluate and put what your strengths are, and then put your team in the best possible position to be successful. And I think, especially early for us, we got a lot of guys that grow up front. I mean, just very, very little experience in our defensive line coming back, but yet, as I said in August, I felt like this could be the best back seven that we've had. And so that was our strength. And so we just kind of tinkered with it a little bit and did some studying. And really the guys bought into it. And then with a guy like Isaiah Simmons and being able to do multiple things with him, because obviously, he can cover, he can stop the run, he can rush the passer. I mean, he's just a very dynamic guy. It kind of gave us a little bit of flexibility, and so it just gave us a little bit of time to develop those guys. But we're still true to our identity, but it's helped us to be a little more multiple and create some challenges from week to week. I think we've been probably a little more difficult to prepare for this year with a little bit of unknown. Whereas last year we were a pretty base team, although we changed our fronts up a lot, but we were a pretty base personnel team with the type of guys that we had up front. I mean, that's just the way we were built. So I think that's kind of been what's behind it. I think you'll see us a little different next year because we're going to be built a little differently next year. And then same thing as far as just play calling. I mean, he prepares very well. He's very detailed. And Brent, if he was sitting here, the first thing he'd say, he's got an incredible staff. We've got a great staff. And these guys all work really, really hard together. There's great synergy in the room. And, you play the game through the week. I think he does probably as good a job as anybody I've ever been around at doing that. He really, truly plays the game, throughout the week. And then when we get into the game, he just, he doesn't spend a lot of time on his call sheet. He's just got a great feel, and he's got great instincts for the game. And at the end of the day, he trusts our players. And we put the work in during the week. And as Ryan just said, it's not about calls or plays. It's about players. And so he does a good job of putting them in position to have a chance to be successful. And then it's up to them to execute at a high level. But got a great staff that do an awesome job of teaching every single day.
I'm going to go far right here, coaches.
David Hood, TigerNet.com. Coach Swinney, you said a decade ago that Clemson was about to embark on the greatest decade in history at Clemson. So as this decade comes to a close and you get ready to embark on another one, do you have a prediction for the next decade? Or what would you say we need to be looking for?
Yeah, I would say my prediction is the best is yet to come, as I always say, because that's just what I believe. I believe the best is always yet to come. And just my mindset. It is kind of crazy, though, to think that, today's our last Friday practice of this decade. We've had a lot of Friday practices since 2010, and a lot of guys have come and gone. And man, I'm just glad I'm still here. There's been probably a lot of money bet on me not being here back in 2010, but we're here, and just grateful and blessed to see this decade come to an end, And next time we get out on the field, regardless of what happens in this game, it'll be a new decade in 2020, and look forward to the next 10 years. So ask me that question in 10 years. It'll be fun to review.
Yeah, Ryan Day, this is Tim Make, Letterman Row. 3 quickies. The quick update on Justin Fields, how is he? Yeah. Number two, Jonah Jackson. How, as you look back on it now, how key was his transfer to making that offensive line what it is? And number 3, do you look forward to sort of this chess match with Brent Venables?
So the first one was what, Justin?
Yeah.
He's doing great. Second one? Jonah?
Jonah Jackson.
Jonah's been great. Jonah was just the perfect guy at the right time for that room. He's come in with a professionalism. You know, it's hard to walk into a room with such pride, you know, as the offensive line room at Ohio State. So to walk in as a fifth-year senior, the way he handled himself was really great. And the way that, you know, Coach Stud took him into that room and that whole room embraced him was just been tremendous. And, you know, I think our offensive line this year has come together stronger than an offensive line has had in a long time than I've seen. And he's been a big part of that, even in his short time here. And then, yeah, I mean, Coach Venables obviously has been one of the best play callers and big game defensive coordinators in the last decade. And so, yeah, it's going to be a challenge. But, you know, again, if you want to go win the national title, you got to go against the best. And, you know, I know he's going to have those guys ready. They're coming over the walls in every single direction you can imagine. But, you know, again, we've had a great week of practice, and so we're just going to have to adjust as the game goes on.
Carson Field, Arizona PBS. Coach Day, this is your first time coaching in a game where Ohio State has a rich history. How important is continuing that winning tradition for recruiting in Arizona and just the program in general?
Well, I mean, there's everything's at stake, so there's just a lot of reasons why, and we try not to focus on any of those things. It's a one game season right now, March Madness mentality, and you just got to go, and you can't worry about those things because they don't matter. What matters is today and preparing the best we can to get ready to play tomorrow, and that's all you can focus on is being in the moment right now, and then you go from there.
Dabo, Billy Witz with the New York Times. All 4 of these teams in the playoffs, they don't punt the ball very often, and I'm just wondering if you think that that's going to be a little bit more of a factor for you guys than it's been at any point this season, and also Will Spires has quite a bit of baseball history in his family and threw a real nice ball on a fake punt a couple of years ago. I'm wondering if he reminds you of his ability to throw it all.
Yeah, I think we're planning first punt is going to be a fake.
Did you get that?
We've been working the double, triple, reverse, pitch back to Will, throw down the field, and our timing's gotten better over the couple weeks. So we're. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach Day's right there. No, you know what? I honestly, in a game like this, the punt is one of the best offensive plays in the game. There's nothing wrong with a punt. The field position is critical in games like this. It's just it's the hidden yardage. It's a game within a game, and our Will's done a great job for us this year, and I think sometimes people they want us to have to flip the field. We don't get an opportunity to flip the field a lot, because most of the time we've moved the ball and got a first down or two, and most of our punts are going in, and he does an amazing job of pinning people deep. He really does. But in games like this, there are some times where you're asked to have to flip the field, and I think that's going to be a key part, creating some good field position for the team, and offensively, truly ending every drive with a kick. So take care of the ball, and let's not try to force things, and there's nothing wrong with, hey, if it's not there, listen, let's be smart, let's punt the ball, and let's play good defense and try to win that battle, that field position battle. So it's definitely in games like this critical when you have teams that aren't used to being stopped. And I think I don't think both teams will go out there and score 60 points. It's probably going to be a big-time defensive battle. But certainly the punting game will be critical.